tonight?
Chuck, let's go, baby!
What'd you think tonight, Muss? That was a lot of fun to watch.
It was a lot of fun to be a part of that one, too. Trust me on that. First of all, when Justin Smith went down at halftime, he's kind of our unsung leader and had done a great job in the first half. I was really proud of the other guys. For instance, Devo Davis, the job that he did defensively was phenomenal. And he hit a really big shot for us. Ethan Henderson has not played much at all. He came in, got a big loose ball for us. So, and then obviously, Desi in the first half was really, really great. JD in the second half was really good. And then I just thought our team defense, our focal point was number 24, Justin Powell. We felt like he was as the lead guard for them and one of their top two scorers. We felt like in some way, shape, or form we had to neutralize him, and we wanted to pressure him, which we knew might give up some three balls. And I thought we did a really, really, really good job defensively in that aspect. And then obviously it's the worst 3-point defense since I've been at Arkansas.
Well, I'll tell you one thing you did do. You dogged the ball pretty well defensively. You forced turnovers. And I think about down the stretch, Auburn didn't have an answer in terms of, being able to pass and to dribble, and their lack of a point guard hurt them. And it just looked like down the stretch you took over defensively.
Well, yeah, coming into the game, everybody talked about Auburn's steals and their ability to create turnovers and their full court press. And, we told the team if there was a way that we could just win the turnover game and win the steal game. Obviously we were pretty aggressive defensively on the ball. And that's why we probably gave up, too many three balls. But to go on the road, to score 97 points in our first road game, to win by double digits, I could not be prouder to have your grad transfer leader in Justin Smith not play at all for 30 minutes of the game. Pretty impressive win, for sure.
Well, you think about the toughness that you lose when a player like Smith goes down, and somebody's got to step up. And it just looked like it was a collective effort from your team in that regard.
It really was. We talked right about that 10-minute mark when they made a little bit of a run and that thing started, tied 3 points back and forth. But, look, when you go on the road and you win, or you have a lead, I should say, for 38 minutes and 33 seconds, that's impressive to me. And again, it's just one game, but it is a road game. It is conference play. A lot of people, talked about, this is our first challenge. How would we respond? I thought we did a phenomenal job as a team.
I got to ask you about 13 steals tonight, the activity of your team in terms of deflecting passes, touching the basketball. That seemed to be a defensive theme all night.
It was. I think, Chuck, that, the thing that I've been most disappointed with is I thought we had a group of defensive players that could cause a little bit more disruption than we did in our first 8 games. And a lot of the practice was tailored to more defensive activity on the ball, to a little bit more pressure on the ball. And, I felt like that really helped us. And Auburn's a really, really good rebounding team. Tonight, 34-34 on the glass. We actually had 13 offensive rebounds to their 11. Again, just to score 97 points on the road in a conference game, in the first conference game, is really difficult to do.
Coach, a lot of excited Razorback fans tonight. That sure was fun to watch. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Chuck. Appreciate it.
All right, Eric Musselman joining us outside the Razorback locker room, and what a fun night it has been for them. And
okay, Coach, we'll now turn over to the media. Scotty, get us started, please.
Yeah, Coach, I guess I'll start in the obvious place for me. Just what's your thoughts on Desi? Got you guys off to a really good start tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we felt like, if we could get into a little bit of a drive and kick game and have Desi spotting up, that it would be advantageous to us. And I thought Jalen Tate, especially early in the game, did a good job of kind of dribble penetrating, finding a gap and kicking it. And then Desi did a phenomenal job of drawing free throws. He mixed in his three ball with some dribble drives, and for him to go to the line 6 times was phenomenal. And the other thing too with Desi tonight that I'm really proud, he had 4 offensive rebounds, and Desi's for 2 years, or last year, now through 9 games this year, he's such an integral part, Scotty, of what we're doing. But one area that I want him to get better at is I want him to contribute a little more rebounding, even though he's a combo guard. And tonight I thought he did a really, really good job on the glass for us.
Coach, what did you think of what Devo gave you there late in the second half? Several hustle plays, an offensive board, great defensive stop, and also hit that big bucket.
Yeah, I thought he was really, really important and vital in his 13 minutes that he played. At halftime, I made a decision that I was going to, play him. Some of the minutes that were going to be not used by Smith. And I thought he did a great job. He goes 2 for 3, made all the right decisions tonight, was really, really, really good defensively for us. Yeah, I thought he did a great job.
Yeah, I think Mike said Bob's a little faint there, but Eric, you alluded to it a minute ago. A lot of, you guys were 8-0, but a lot of people said, well, they hadn't really played anybody significant yet. And obviously playing SEC team on the road, just how good do you feel about the answers you guys had to some people who had questions about you?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, Bob, this game tonight, knowing that we have 2 ranked teams in the top 15 in our next 2 games, I thought this game, probably since I've been at Arkansas for a regular season game, I thought this was by far the most important game, that I've been a part of with this team, because again, we have such great respect for how Missouri's played and Tennessee, and knowing one's in the top 10 and one's just outside the top 10. So, for this early in the year, it's about as must win as you could be staring at on the schedule.
And then could you give us an update on Justin? It looked like it was his right ankle. Do you know what his status would be for Mizzou, or just how's he doing?
Yeah, I don't really know, but obviously he was in a boot, and he has an ankle on one foot and a calf on the other. So, but it's next man up, and hopefully he'll go through some rehab, and I don't know what the docs will say once we get back home, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I got a couple more. I'll give it back to Mike.
Hey, Coach, first time with this group having to close a game like that down the stretch. How pleased were you with the poise and execution there, and maybe particularly what you got out of JD in the final few minutes?
Yeah, I thought, Curtis, that, when it was tied up or 1 point, there was a timeout. We just talked about, how we had controlled the whole game. Kind of like if a football team is, dominates the time of possession, and they made a run, and part of winning in the SEC and part of winning on the road was, you got to finish a game. And we haven't been in that position, obviously. And so there's a lot of unknowns. And I was really, even Jalen Tate, he got in foul trouble. I had to take him out. And so we had lineups out there that we've never had. And I thought the guy stepped up to the challenge and did a really, really good job.
Yeah, Eric, just kind of specifically, what did you all do to frustrate Powell to throw him off?
I just think that the pressure, and then having multiple bodies. I mean, in reality, Nate, Tate's done such a great job for us defensively when we've assigned him to a star player on another team, and Desi guarded him a lot. Actually, the first couple days of the prep, Desi was on Flanagan and Jay Tate, was on Powell, and I made the switch yesterday. That I wanted Desi because of lower leverage and being able to get under the ball a little bit more. And then we put Tate on him at times too because of the length. But I just felt Desi could stab at the ball a little bit, and I thought both those guys tandemly, and then also when Devo guarded him, did a really good job. So kind of three guys assigned to him all did a really nice job defensively.
Hey, Eric, something that struck me on watching it was you'd have big leads, and Auburn just kept fighting back, but they only got ahead of you by 1 point once and tied you in the second half. What do you think that says about your team, particularly in light of their torrid three-point shooting at times in that game?
Yeah, Tom, we have a lot to correct before our next game on defending the threes. But in the huddles, we felt like we were going to win. There was no panic. There was times last year where I was worried about who was going to get, a shot if it wasn't, Mason or Isaiah or Jimmy. In the huddles this time when we were looking at people, we were running certain sets. We talked about five guys being an option out there, which is a little bit, more unique than the way we played last year.
Coach, talk about the play of Connor Vanover. It kind of was at times quiet by Connor, but yet he came up with a very solid game.
He was awesome. He's our third leading scorer in just 26 minutes of play, and he did it without the three ball. He was 1 of 6 from three, but did a really good job, Randy, of going 6 of 6 from the foul line. He had 3 offensive rebounds, a block shot. I thought he was really, really, really good for us tonight around the rim, and I thought he did a phenomenal job in pick and rolls. He was up on his pick and rolls in his coverage, and he's a stabilizing force in the huddles. He's a guy that communicates the right message to his teammates, and guys love playing with him.
Coach, you mentioned this was the worst three-point defense you've had. What do you think made Auburn so effective from beyond the arc tonight?
Well, they take a lot of threes. When you look at their numbers, they just take a ton of threes, and they got hot. I pretty much made the decision we were going to keep defending like we had been. We went into the game with the game plan, and they never really took the lead. And we felt as the game progressed, if we could chase down some of those long rebounds, that we still liked the tempo and the pace and the way the game was going. But it will be addressed for sure.
Yeah, Eric, a couple of things. It was 72-72, I think, and then you guys went on like a 10-0 run, and it's not like Auburn gave up, but that was a pretty huge, run by you guys. Well, what do you think was the key to that?
We kept playing with pretty good pace. JD made some really, really important plays for us, but really, Bob, I thought, during that 10-0 run, defensively, we got a couple loose balls, we got a couple steals. We defensive rebounded pretty well. So again, without watching the tape or whatever, I think our defense picked up for sure, and we got some easy baskets too, through defensive deflections and so on.
I know Moody's really good, but this was his first SEC game. You're never quite sure how freshmen are going to react. Well, what'd you think of his game?
I thought he was awesome. When I look at this thing, I think Moses was our top plus-minus guy, plus 15 when he was on the floor. How many freshmen played 38 minutes and 27 seconds in their first SEC game? I took him out for a minute 30. Phenomenal. He started the game off aggressive offensively, knocked down a couple quick shots, and then he didn't force things. He was on the floor when we were making runs. He made some good extra passes to Desi and to JD, and I thought Moses was off the charts great tonight.
And Note 4 steals and another big second half. What'd What'd you think of him?
I thought he was great. You know, he stunk in the first half. You know, I don't know what he was doing or what he was thinking or who he was passing to, whether it was our guys or their guys. And he was discombobulated and you know, but I mean, he's like a home run hitter, you know. I mean, he's going to strike out or hit a grand slam. That's kind of what he is right now. But I love him.
Thanks.
Coach, I appreciate it. Woo, pig.